13.
Yes, sir.
You started with 12 earlier.
Where did I go to? I was 7, 10. Oh, God, I hate this.
In a single, jaw-dropping announcement, King Charles III did the unthinkable, shattering a tradition that has stood for centuries. With the world watching, it was rumored that he delivered words that sent shockwaves through the monarchy and left millions asking why. What could compel a man who has spent his entire life preparing for the crown to walk away from it all? Was it the crushing weight of expectations, the unrelenting comparisons to Queen Elizabeth II, or something far more unexpected? As the dust settles, the question remains: is this the end of an era or the beginning of a bold new chapter for the royal family? Brace yourself for the untold truth behind why King Charles allegedly chose to step down, because this changes everything. The rumor of resignation. The world was left in shock when speculation arose that King Charles III had allegedly announced his unexpected resignation from the throne, an unprecedented move, if true, that would send ripples through the British monarchy and beyond. For centuries, the monarchy has symbolized continuity, with reigning sovereigns traditionally serving until death. However, the rumored decision by King Charles to step down would represent a historic break from this long-standing tradition. As the alleged news spread, media outlets worldwide began speculating on the possible reasons behind such a choice, ranging from personal challenges to the immense pressure of living up to the towering legacy of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. Renowned for her unwavering dedication and strength throughout her remarkable 70-year reign, the Queen's legacy continues to cast a long shadow over Charles's tenure, amplifying public expectations and scrutiny. These reports have raised critical questions about the monarchy's future and whether this could signal the dawn of a more progressive approach to royal leadership. The alleged resignation did not fail to inspire different reactions among the populace. For supporters of the cause, this was regarded as a progressive step and an expression of King Charles's awareness and preparedness to revise the monarchy into a thing that could cope with modern times. Critics saw it as a betrayal from royal duty jeopardized one of the oldest institutions on Earth. The public discourse shifted very quickly to the heir presumptive as Prince William was suddenly thrust early into a huge and frightening role than had ever been imagined by many. But while the royal family envisaged indeed this monumental change, the resignation will also serve to mark the fault line within the walls of the palace where Prince Harry finds himself, whose very own withdrawal has begun wreaking havoc within the institution. The import of the decision of King Charles now leaves the monarchy at a crossroads, leaving it in a precarious position to maintain a balance between tradition and modernity. While King Charles's rumored resignation has set the stage for a seismic shift in the monarchy, it also resurrects the enduring shadow of Princess Diana, whose legacy of compassion and controversy continues to shape both his reign and the public's perception of royal leadership. The shadow of Diana. Amid swirling rumors of King Charles III's potential resignation, speculation has turned to the personal and historical challenges that may have influenced such a decision. Chief among these is the enduring shadow of his first marriage to Princess Diana, a chapter in his life that reshaped the public's perception of the royal family. While Charles has worked to redefine his legacy in recent years, the lasting impact of his tumultuous relationship with Diana continues to weigh heavily on his image, casting doubts on his ability to fully step out of the shadow of his past. From the fairy tale beginnings of their wedding to the painful unraveling of their relationship, Charles's marriage to Diana was characterized by intense media scrutiny. His affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, now Queen Consort at his side, not only triggered top-notch estimation divorce, but earned him an intense public hatred, especially among the die-hard Diana loyalists' public. The death of the tragic Diana etches her further as a heroine and builds barriers for Charles not to escape from comparisons. This public disapproval has lived on for decades, making it difficult for the country to perceive an individual capable of representing the integrity and dedication that go with the monarchy. As king, Charles has sought to remodel his public image away from his personal controversies, turning the focus on modernizing the monarchy. Diana's legacy, synonymous with empathy and accessibility, now casts quite a shadow on his reign, raising doubts about how public perception has truly transformed. Perhaps the pressures of dealing with both this tortuous personal history and the incredible weight of the crown have contributed to the now rumored intention to abdicate. The story has such lasting implications forged indeed in heavy measures of one's personal history on the path a reign must take. A monarch with opinions. While the shadow of Princess Diana's legacy defined much of King Charles III's personal life, his tenure as Prince of Wales also drew criticism for his perceived overreach into political and public affairs. Unlike his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who was renowned for her steadfast neutrality, Charles often found himself at the center of controversy for expressing strong opinions on a range of issues. This trait was most famously showcased in the Black Spider Memos, a series of letters he penned to government ministers. These memos, which touched on subjects from urban planning to climate change, sparked debates about whether a future monarch could maintain the neutrality traditionally expected of the role. In publishing these letters, one saw a side of Charles that was very political and advocacy-oriented, but this proactive manner of doing things ultimately divided public opinion. To his supporters, he appeared to be a modern and brave royal who stood for really important issues. In opposition to this, some think it is blurring the lines of monarchy, the ceremonial and political parts of the monarch. As rumors fill the air around his resignation, the question becomes, were the requirements of reconciling and accepting history of political engagement too great a value against the apolitical expectations of the crown? This balancing act between being outspoken and the type of neutrality demanded from a monarch may have added certain pressures that now set the tone for his reign. Compounding these challenges is the evolving role of the monarchy in the 21st century, which has faced increasing scrutiny over its relevance and accountability. King Charles has often championed causes like environmental conservation and sustainable development, aligning himself with modern concerns, but these efforts have not fully shielded him from critiques about the monarchy's privileged position in an increasingly egalitarian world. The British public and global audiences alike have become more vocal in questioning the institution's place in a society that values transparency and democratic principles. Alternative medicine advocacy. From his controversial political advocacy to his championing of alternative medicine, King Charles III has long been a figure willing to court public debate. His vocal support for alternative treatments, including homeopathy and herbal remedies, has earned him praise from holistic health advocates but sharp criticism from the scientific community. As Prince of Wales, Charles positioned himself as a defender of these unconventional practices, often framing them as complements to modern medicine. Yet, his persistence in promoting treatments lacking robust scientific backing has drawn accusations of pseudoscience, placing him at odds with medical professionals and skeptics alike. It has been one of the contentious matters that has leaped into the limelight concerning an expected monarch to embody unity and neutrality. The advocacy by Charles for alternative medicine has attracted much criticism, which further increased during his reign. Critics have questioned whether he manages to reconcile his personal beliefs with the credibility of the monarchy, while supporters hailed his commitment to holism and environmental sustainability. As the talk of resignation progresses, there may be people who wonder whether the backlash of his controversial stances, even against the backdrop of alleged plans to step down, could cause personal passion and public responsibility to complicate an already complicated job as king. Debates over Charles's personal passions had barely settled when a new storm emerged, casting doubt on the monarchy's operations and integrity. Money and titles. King Charles III's controversial advocacy for alternative medicine wasn't the only aspect of his life to spark public debate. Financial dealings tied to his charitable organizations also placed him under intense scrutiny. Reports of donations to his charities allegedly being linked to honorary titles created a scandal that became known as the "cash for honors" controversy. Although no legal charges were brought against Charles or his organizations, the allegations raised troubling questions about transparency and the ethical operations of royal charities. Critics argued that even the perception of impropriety risked tarnishing the monarchy's reputation, further fueling skepticism about its role in modern society. These financial controversies were severe barriers to Charles's attempts to update the monarchy and solidify its acceptance in the public eye. While supporters insisted that the allegations were exaggerated, critics considered them more evidence of the monarchy's disconnect with modern expectations of accountability. Now that rumors are in circulation about his resignation, it has been speculated that these controversies from the past may have weighed heavily in his decision-making. Juggling the impact of such scandals while preserving the integrity of the crown probably created extra tension for an already troubled monarch in a changing world with changing public expectations. Monarchy in modern times. King Charles III's charities are just one example of the growing challenges the monarchy faces in retaining its place in a rapidly changing world. In recent years, a surge in Republican sentiments has brought the very institution of the monarchy under scrutiny. Activist groups like the Republic have openly questioned the relevance of the royal family, calling for its abolition and advocating for an elected head of state. Protests during significant royal events, including Charles's coronation, underscored this shift, as more citizens voiced their concerns about the monarchy's cost, purpose, and symbolism in a modern democracy. In the face of rising skepticism, King Charles faces increasing pressure to defend the role of monarchy within modern Britain. To many, his reign is a barometer as to whether the institution can adapt to new societal values while still retaining its historic traditions. As speculation continues about a possible abdication, some read this as a tacit admission of the monarchy's failure to garner relevance in contemporary society. Now, the one big question: can the monarchy evolve with the growing call for accountability and modernization? Or will it continue to lose the public's contentment amid rising challenges? Family fractures. As the monarchy grapples with rising Republican sentiments, the internal dynamics of the royal family have further complicated King Charles III's reign. At the forefront of these challenges is the widely publicized rift with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Their decision to step back from royal duties and their subsequent interviews, including explosive claims about racism, neglect, and dysfunction within the royal household, have cast a long shadow over the institution. These accusations not only damaged the monarchy's public image but also highlighted deep-seated tensions within the family. For Charles, navigating this personal and institutional crisis has been a significant strain on his leadership, forcing him to confront generational divides and shifting societal values. The Harry and Meghan effect has amplified scrutiny of the monarchy's ability to adapt to modern ideals of inclusivity and transparency. The couple's departure marked a break from tradition, resonating with younger, more progressive audiences who see their choices as reflective of contemporary struggles against outdated institutions. Conversely, more traditional supporters of the monarchy view this as a betrayal, exacerbating the divide between those who favor change and those who cling to convention. For Charles, these opposing pressures have presented a delicate balancing act, with every move being analyzed through the lens of a polarized public. Private rift is already as serious as public fallout because there have been significant personal effects on family relationships. The continuing state of communication breakdown between Charles, Prince Harry, and Prince William has received much publicity and has developed into a storyline of estrangement in the royal family. This pattern of internal rifts is pictured making it more and more challenging to present the monarchy as a united front whenever faced with any external criticism. For Charles, after such long decades in preparation for his role as king, mending these family fractures tends to become nothing less than monumental, in conjunction with upholding the dignity of the crown. It will undoubtedly place a weight on their family divisions concerning the public constantly prying into their private lives. Potentially, much has added strain to his reign. Following rumors swirling over Charles's possible resignation, speculations follow that some of the family's continuing fissures might have weighed the most against it. It has proven formidable to strike a balance between salvaging the decks of family reconciliation and meeting the expectations of royal duty. In fact, over time, the historically acknowledged salvation of the monarchy through times of flux laid in the conception of the institution as a bastion of stability and unity. Yet, regarding these very public, personally intense domestic challenges, this moot question about whether his leadership is sufficient to lead a really at milestone in history monarchy has opened. The day the crown was set down. With a single statement, the alleged resignation of King Charles III would be unprecedented in modern royal history. Such a decision would not merely be a personal one, but could symbolize a monumental shift for an institution traditionally defined by stability and unbroken succession. The mere speculation of this event reverberated globally, leaving citizens, historians, and leaders alike questioning the potential implications. For a monarchy built on the foundation of lifelong service, even the suggestion of Charles's resignation would disrupt the core principle of continuity that has sustained it for generations, challenging the very essence of its role in a rapidly evolving world. The claimed proclamation bared vital internal problems among the royal family, as well as the modern pressures of leadership itself. Many regarded the act of Charles as a bold and necessary way forward toward modernization. Others, however, feared it would hasten the diminishing influence and purpose of the monarchy. This supposed resignation signified the rapid end of his father's reign for Prince William and displaced him without warning into the media glare as the new heir apparent. While the family adjusted to this seismic event, attention began to focus on the most frayed of connections, Prince Harry, whose own break-off royal duties had already created discord in the extended clan. The day the crown sat down would not just signify the end of what was to be a very short reign for King Charles, but also might indeed go down as that major transforming moment for the royal household, leaving the monarchy itself splayed over new ground in its quest to remain relevant as time moves further toward modernity. The monarchy now faces a moment that could redefine its future, or unravel its very essence. A new era or the end of an era. The family discord fueled by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's departure reflects deeper tensions within the royal institution, and now, rumors of King Charles III's potential resignation bring these fissures into sharper focus. If the speculation is true, his decision would mark an unprecedented moment in modern royal history, leaving the monarchy at a crossroads. Such a move raises critical questions about what the future holds for the British crown, whether this is the beginning of a bold new chapter or the gradual unraveling of one of the world's oldest institutions. For supporters of modernization, a voluntary abdication could signal a refreshing willingness to adapt. Handing the reins to Prince William might rejuvenate the monarchy's image, aligning it with the sensibilities of younger generations. William and Catherine, the Prince and Princess of Wales, enjoy widespread popularity and are seen as relatable yet steadfast representatives of the crown. Their leadership could bridge the gap between tradition and progress, potentially revitalizing public support for an institution increasingly under scrutiny. Charles's resignation could thus be viewed as a pragmatic step toward ensuring the monarchy's continued relevance in a rapidly evolving world. On the contrary, skeptics tend to say that a move too far from royal tradition may just destroy the very base on which rests the edifice of the monarchy's mysteriousness and stability. The British crown has always stood for continuity. It has an unbroken line of service up to centuries. For some, when a king might voluntarily choose to resign, it may as well cause a destabilizing event that may lead to further criticism on the purpose and role of the monarchy. For Orthodox tradition, this said speculation would sound less like progress with its reforms, and conceivably more of a weakening reinforcement of core institution values, paving the way for loss of trust by the public. Whether it is a turning point in history or a signal of imminent decline, One thing is sure: the monarchy is entering an age of unprecedented change. Should Charles step aside, his action might set a precedent for future generations of royals whose expectations for the throne might change. Such a possibility holds an opportunity as well as danger, as the royal family seeks to strike a balance between honoring its storied past and moving toward a future that demands transparency, accountability, and modernity. All eyes turn, for the next chapter might end up rewriting history on the monarchy's legacy for the centuries to come. Thanks for tuning in to explore the shocking speculation behind King Charles's alleged resignation. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on the latest royal news and the stories that shape history. What do you think? Do you believe this rumor, or is it too far-fetched to be true? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't go anywhere, click on the next video on your screen now to dive even deeper into the royal family's most unexpected twists and turns. See you there.